doing?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah. So before we get started, where you originally from?
Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse, New York. What is that, like a small?
Yeah.
It's like a small town, or what's that?
It's kind of a small town. If you were to compare it to like LA or something, it's definitely a small town.
Oh, okay. All right. So how long you been doing music? Cause I seen your TikTok. It looked like, cause you got a major following on there. So
Yes. Like I've been like a content creator since I was like 14, since like Vine was around. But I started doing music August of 2022, like officially.
Okay.
So it hasn't even been a full year that I've actually been like recording and releasing officially. It's just been something that I've been passionate about my whole life, though, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah.
All right. So what made you start to do like to take music seriously? Cause I seen your page and everything on your YouTube channel. Like you got quite a few records out. So.
Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, I've always wanted to take it serious. It was just the confidence. Honestly, it was really just having the confidence to go and find somebody to, like, be in a studio to record me and do the mixing and whatnot. Ace Skrilla, he's actually an upstate artist as well. He hit me up, like, before he really even heard anything I could do, and he wanted me on a track. And I wasn't going to do it at first, but I was like, you know what? I feel like this is maybe an opening for me. So I went to his engineer. I met him. You know, I wrote my verse to his song, and they were really fucking with it, you know what I mean? So it's actually the song Over You, that's out right now on all platforms as well. It was one of the first singles I released. But he got me in the studio, and that was really like where I was like, oh shit, like I can really do this. Like it's not that hard. I can go in there, I can record, I can write. So that was really it for me, was him just hitting me up to do that song.
Yeah, that song dope though. I had listened to it. I had seen that I guess it was on the Billboard or something like that. So when I looked at your page, I was like, wait a minute, that's the same. So I ended up clicking on it. Yeah, that's dope though. I think you should shoot a video to that one right there. The next one, that's dope.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what's far as like any other artists? Have you worked with anybody else, or has it just been you?
So I've definitely been like, I've been talking to a lot of artists, a lot of upstate artists, especially a couple people from like different states and whatnot. I've worked with Shaq Richardson. I have a song with him out. I could actually post a link as well too. The link used to be in all my bios, but I ended up taking it out just to put all my Apple Music links on there.
Okay.
I got a feature in the works with Street Soprano. He's a Buffalo artist. But a lot of people, it's just been a lot of talking and, you know, like trying to get the beats and whatnot. But I definitely have a lot of collabs in the works, just not like finished or released yet. But I'm gonna get there. I'm getting there.
All right. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that's cool though. So, far as outside of music, is you still doing TikTok, or you focusing on?
Oh, of course. It's definitely just like something I've always enjoyed. Like I just have a lot of fun making videos. You know what I mean? Whether it's like just random skits or like even the little TikTok dances, you know, like it's just so much fun to me.
Okay.
Like I just love it. I absolutely love it. Whether it's music related or not, like I just have fun with it, to be honest.
All right.
It's a fun platform to be on.
Okay. Well, my channel is branched off of my podcast radio station that I'm doing recordings for right now. I play like records and everything like that for up and coming artists and everything like that. That's something that I actually started out wanting to do, but I had to prove to like 107.1 and Sirius XM and Shade 45 what my station was going to be about. So after my YouTube channel took off like less than last year, because I started doing YouTube last year, and they seen what I was doing, so they was like, you know what, we're going to give you a shot. So that's what I'm planning on. I don't know how many artists I can, but it's like every week I want to be able to break an artist's record out or something like that that's up and coming. So that's what I was trying.
Yeah, that's really dope.
Yeah.
Really dope though. I'm big on, you got a dream, go for it. You know what I mean? Like don't let it hold you back. If that's what you want to do, go for it.
Yeah.
And you got my support. Like I'm here. You got my support.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
For sure.
Oh yeah, and anytime you have anything new, a new visual, anything like that, just send me the link. I'm gonna react to it. So it's like, yeah.
I got a video in the works right now. Right now it's really just like I know the video producer that I'm going through, and I have a bunch of ideas written down. It's really just like meeting up, getting the money for the video and stuff. So like I'm hoping in the next couple months I actually do have a video out, as well as a new album that I've been working on too. So I got a lot in the works for sure, and I can't wait to share it.
All right. So what's like the next thing you got going on? You gonna drop an EP or an album or something like that? What is it?
So this album, I've been working on since December now. I want to say November, December-ish. I've been recording for it. It's going to be 10 songs. And it's honestly going to be big. Like, I might actually add a bonus track on there, and it might be 11 songs. But I got, like, 2 visuals in the works for that. The album cover, like, I'm paying a ton of money just to get the album cover the way I want it. And I'm hoping to drop it by, like, August the latest.
Okay.
Like late July, mid-August is when I, like, right before summer ends. Like, I want it to be like that last album for the summer.
That's actually a smart idea, to be honest with you, because everybody else is like trying to get things rushed out during the summer while it's hot outside, and then like nobody never think about dropping nothing at the end of the summer. Nobody does. So that's a smart idea. That's a good marketing idea. So yeah. So you plan?
Yeah, and then
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say August was when I dropped my first ever single too, so it'll be exactly a year since then. So I feel like the timing and everything is just gonna be so right. Like it's kind of like to celebrate me 1 year of doing music is this album as well. Like, it honestly means a lot to me. All my music means a lot to me. Like my first EP, that was like all my heart was put into that type of deal. Which my heart's always into my music, but like, you know, I feel like it just gets deeper and deeper the more I do it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. That's cool. So, who did you listen to, like, far as, like, music goes? Like, who was one of the artists that you listened to?
So my top 2 that, like, I'm just constantly jamming to is Juice WRLD, of course, like, number 1 no matter what, whether it's unreleased, released, like, there's so much Juice WRLD, you know what I mean? Like, thousands of songs to listen to. So, like, he's just an artist I would never get sick of. And then Russ, I don't know if you heard of him, but he's like a bigger independent artist. He's not signed to a label or anything. He does on his own.
Okay.
And like he's one of my number 1 inspirations as well as like who I listen to the most. Like those 2, like you'll always catch me bumping them too. Like always. Okay,
that's cool. Cause you know I'm big on females being in hip hop because it's like I'm not a big fan of the Nicki Minaj's and all the rest of that. I like a female that actually can rap. You get what I mean? You know, and be creative with it. So it's like when I seen your video. Well, actually, I heard your music before. Because actually and then I was like, you know what? I'm a follower. And then I'm like, you know what? Next time I get back onto my YouTuber mode, I'm gonna ask her for an interview. And then I seen that you had put a video out, and I was like, "Oh no, wait a minute!" So I did the reaction before I did the interview. I was like, "I got to do the reaction first." So yeah, I
fuck with the reaction too, and I do appreciate it. Like when you sent me that, I was so hyped. I was like, "Yes, a reaction video! Like that's dope. I love it."
Oh yeah, because it's. I mean, you know, I appreciate the up and coming artists because it's like you know, I've been to. I had distribution deal with Def Jam before and Atlantic Records, and it's like I always see the stars, and it's like the other person that's always on the side of them is like either their partner, their homeboy, their friend, or something like that, and they rap better than them. So I was like, I never got like why the other guy's not getting put on. So I will always like be like, you know what, I gotta do something for the up and coming artist. So it's like instead of being a regular YouTuber and reacting to the newest Lil Wayne or whatever like that song or something like that, I was like, you know what, my whole channel is about to be based upon this. And my channel took off faster that way too because, you know, half of these people I interview or do reactions to, I don't even know they already famous, you know, in their own city and stuff like that yet. So until I find out.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's real dope. Love that.
Yeah. So what's like, who do your production, though? That rambling beat is hard.
So, I find my beats off of YouTube, technically. I always try to go for, like, the beats with less than, like, 50,000 views because I don't want to be rapping on the same thing that everybody else was rapping on. But yeah, it's honestly, I can't even tell you who made the beat off the top of my head because it's literally just the YouTube beat. But the person who mixes it for me is Dom Shiggy. You can find him on Instagram and whatnot. He works out of Brooklyn and Syracuse. He goes back and forth to both. But yeah, Shiggy is the one who mixes and engineers all my stuff. He's the first engineer I really went to. And you know, he's a dope ass person, dope ass dude. You know, he helps me out if I need it. Like sometimes I go in and I'm like, the song is finished, but I'm struggling. Like I need help. I'm just gonna go in there and I'm gonna do it, and you tell me like how I can fix this one part because I don't know how. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like a genius. Honestly, anybody that like can mix and engineer music, I feel like is just like a genius. Like they're fucking magical. Because I don't understand it. I just know how to rap over a beat.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, yeah. How do you look for beats on YouTube though? A few people said that, and I was like, how do you do that? Like what? Like
so. I don't know how other people go about it, but for me personally, like when I'm writing a song, 9 times out of 10, I think of like a couple bars, and then in my head I have like the melody already. So say if it's like a Juice WRLD type of song that I'm thinking, I'll just type in like Juice WRLD type beat, and then I can filter the views like less than 50,000 views or whatever, and then I'll just go through tons and tons of beats until I really feel the beat that is like matching what I already have in my head. Like I've done it with like Jadakiss type beats, the Pops type beats. I've even typed in like a Dua Lipa type beat. You know what I mean? For like a poppy type song.
Okay.
So anything that I'm really feeling, I automatically think of the artist, and then I just type in like that artist type beat, and that's how I find all my stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. So wow. So, do you know any personal producers, or is just the YouTube right now?
I do. I've had a few people like keep telling me to get in their studio. They can find me beats. They can make me beats. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna definitely get there. I honestly couldn't even tell you why I haven't gone and gotten a producer yet. I guess I'm just like I'm comfortable where I'm at, which that's not always a good thing. Like I definitely got to branch out and start getting my own personal beats. But once I drop this album, I definitely, I plan to start going to different producers and seeing what type of beats I can get made specifically for me, because those are one of a kind. You know what I mean? You're not going to see other people rapping on those. So definitely soon I'll be getting my own beats made, for sure.
All right. That's cool. Yeah, that's that. Because out of Syracuse, like, do y'all have any artists coming from out of there? Or...
Technically, Tusi and Scory are from Syracuse, and they already made it out. But in general, like, Syracuse is full of talent, honestly. Like, there's, of course, a lot of hate, a lot of negativity. But if I'm being, like, completely honest, it's not just because it's my hometown, but, like, I've seen it first and foremost for myself, that Syracuse just has so many talented people, whether it's producers, artists, rappers, singers, poets. Like I've been to showcases where I've performed and they've had poets go up, and it's just like it's a whole different experience, you know what I mean? Like to listen to somebody just do poetry rather than a song, and they're still just so talented. Like Syracuse is just full of talent. It's crazy.
Okay, because when I'm from the Midwest, I'm from Detroit, so it's like when we go to New York, we go to New York. A lot of us have cousins and friends and business partners and stuff like that. That's like in Manhattan, Brooklyn, parts of the Bronx and everything like that. But Syracuse, nobody never really mentioned it. I heard of Syracuse one time, and that was probably when I was like 13. That was a long time. So it's like after that, when I seen that you was from from Syracuse, I was like, oh. What? I didn't really think about it. Yeah, so all right.
Yeah.
All right. You said
it's a small town but hopefully one day we're on the map. Hopefully one day.
Oh, I will. Yeah, you got Amanda Marie. You the next one. So it's like.
I hope so. I'm working on it.
Yeah. Yeah. You said Tusi, like the R&B singer dude. Or...
Yeah. He's from Syracuse. I think he left when he was like 14, but he's from Syracuse, yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, that's the because I'm from here and people talk about it all the time. Like a lot of people like to talk about the ones who made it out, which that's dope and everything like that. But like I definitely like I try to bring it more back to like okay, but who hasn't made it out that should be getting ready to make it out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm big on supporting local artists. Is like I love it. It's like one of my biggest things for sure. Like if you deserve the support, I'm gonna definitely give you the support.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's cool. So what's have you planning on have you reached out to different artists yet or is it just
I have in other states I haven't really quite yet. There's definitely a couple people I would like to reach out to. But for me, it's just mostly been like Syracuse artists I've been reaching out to. I actually haven't been talking about it a lot, but so I have my album that I'm working on now, and it's just gonna be me. Like, there's no features or anything on the album. But like months and months after that, I want to release like a full like collab album, a full feature album where it's like 12 songs of just all features.
okay?
Like I just want all features with different people. You know what I mean? Like I want to give everybody else an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like to have a song and get their name out there as well as like that'd be really dope. And get my name out there with them. You know what I mean? Like it's vice versa. You know what I mean? So that's honestly like my next thing. And I've been hitting people up here and there like to collab and get them on the album. And it's gonna be a while. It's honestly probably a 2024 type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I've already been working on like a straight collab album, just like nothing but features on there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So that's actually wow, that's actually a smart move though. So you plan on doing everything by yourself for a while? You're not even thinking about a distribution deal or anything like that? Oh, that's down the line.
Yeah, it's actually a couple people have asked me, like, there's little record labels around here or whatnot, like little groups of people and all that, and they've asked me, you know what I mean, to be a part of it in this at the third, and it's like I'm still so new, you know what I mean, like. I don't want to get signed to anything right now. I don't want to be working under somebody or with somebody. Like, right now, like, I basically do everything by myself. Like, the first music video, Rambling, that I did, I showed up to that by myself. Like, when I go to the studio, like, I think twice I've had somebody with me in the studio, but for the most part, I go to my studio sessions by myself. My first showcase that I ever did, I showed up by myself. And I'm okay with it because I feel like at the end of the day, I'm going to do this no matter what, whether somebody's with me or without me. If I started this with somebody, there's a chance that if that person wasn't with me anymore, I'd be like, damn, I don't know if I could do it without them. Mm. You know what I mean? So, like, doing it on my own right now, I feel like it's just a very humbling experience. Mm. And that's honestly just what I like.
Yeah. And you want to know the crazy part is that everything you're doing right now is the same thing a record label or a distribution company could do for you. I mean, due to the fact that we got YouTube now, it's a lot of social media that's out here now that wasn't out when I was around. So it's like when I finally realized that you can actually like, make an artist page on YouTube and actually make money off of it, was like a dinosaur to it. So I was like, wait, I could have been had a YouTube channel. So so it was like, yeah, it did. The Spotify came up and everything like that. I was like, you know what? This is how everybody's like moving around now. And the crazy part is this right here. I know about Chance the Rapper when he was a local act from Chicago that came to Minnesota to do like a, pretty much like a free show or stuff like that just to get his music out there. I didn't know this dude went platinum in his living room. Everybody kept saying he went platinum in his living room. I was like, what did he do? He put his music out on Spotify and iTunes, and then everybody caught on to it. He was like,
that's crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, so he's independent. He was like, he's not even signed now. That, blew my mind. Yeah. So I
thought he was somebody. I don't know who, but that's crazy. I didn't know any of that about Chance the Rapper. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the reason why he got a lot of enemies in the industry now. Like, because, I mean, the artists love him, but as far as the business side, all the rest of that, they really don't like that because it's like you eliminate the middleman and everything like that. And it's like, so I encourage people like that's doing everything by themselves, keep doing it. You never know what's going to hit, Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. Just keep releasing. Just keep releasing. And eventually that one song's going to hit, that one person's going to hear it, and that's just going to blow up. Like, you just got to keep the grind going. Don't stop.
Yeah. And oh yeah, it's another thing too. If you know all your old work is your catalog, like that's your retirement plan. You know, say for
Yeah.
example, if you decide to say, you know what, I'm going to retire when I'm 49, you know, or something like that from music. Everything you do now is going to be a part of your retirement plan. That's like for example, in the future, if you have a family, that's how the way your kids is going to eat and everything like that. And I'm a living witness to that. And to now, I'm still moving around. Like I'm not even at home. I'm in California right now, so it's like
Oh,
you know, that's why I'm in my car. And yeah, so it's and I've been gone for months. So you know that's but yeah, but your catalog is one of the things to keep you moving. Like I said, I don't even do music anymore, and I'm still doing my little bits and shows and everything like that off my old music and everything. So it's like your catalog is real big. So it's like when you do that, you know that's how the way it goes. And then on top of that, it's not even a tax bracket. Like your old music is not tax bracket. That's all you. Your new music is gonna be a tax bracket. Hopefully, you know, play right. You know, don't get caught up in the you know the
right.
yeah,
Right.
you know. So yeah,
Definitely.
that's a big thing right there. And I mean, and that's the reason why I started my channel, because it's like a lot of artists that's coming up. You know, they don't know anything about tax brackets and everything like that. It's easy to get caught up being in bankruptcy, and you'll be thinking to yourself like, yo, I just did all this work over these years, all this music, and it's like I'm about to go broke. No, you gotta, you know, it's being independent in the beginning is cool, but once you start to get your name up, it's time to get like, you know, a banker or something like that, you know, to make sure you're all right, you know. So it's like
That's a fact.
yeah, and you never know with music now, because it's like your views on YouTube is counted as, you know this already, it's counted as dollar signs. You know, once you get monetized and everything like that, that's when, you know, you start to see actually some kind of revenue and everything like that. And then you be wondering like, wow, only thing I do is, and the key thing is the way to make money off YouTube as an artist is like shooting visuals. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like, and then everything like that. So it's like,
Yeah, I learned real fast that like visuals were so important, because when I dropped my first EP and even my first song, like I honestly didn't have a visual like in my mind at all. I wasn't thinking to do a music video or anything like that. And then once I started following the music scene a little bit closer, I realized that like visuals get more views, they get more likes than just the music by itself, and it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like these days, people listen with their eyes.
Yeah.
So like, you know, having the visuals, I realized soon, is like very important. And now like honestly, like I work overtime just for music stuff, whether it's for a studio session, whether it's for music videos, and like I don't cheap out either. Like I'm willing to pay $1,000 for a music video if it's gonna be like top tier. You know what I mean? I'm willing to pay $50 an hour, $100 an hour for a studio session, as long as I know it's gonna be like top tier. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing I feel like a lot of people need to know is like music, like you gotta put the money and you gotta put the work in, or else you're not gonna get anywhere. You know what I mean? If you're cheaping out on everything, like it's not gonna be like quite there.
yeah.
And I learned that real fast.
Okay. May I ask, what is your occupation? Because I see you, my wife actually pulled up your TikTok, and she was like, yo, she's famous on TikTok. I was like, I know that. But she was like, no, look, she's famous. And she showed me your followers, and then I was like, where does she work at? Like, you work in like an office thing or something like that? Like, what's...
I work at a scrap company, a metal scrap company, but I work in the office. Like I'm the dispatcher, as well as I do like accounts payable stuff. So like I cut checks for customers, like I pay people out. If there's like an issue with money or something, I'm usually the one to resolve it. But it's honestly a really chill job. You know what I mean? Like it does get busy and stressful at times, but I will say it's the best job I've ever had. Hands down, best job I ever had. Like you've seen it yourself on my TikToks. Like I have enough time to make a TikTok. Like you know what I mean? Like it's the cheapest, like coolest job, and like the money's good too. You know what I mean? It's easy to get overtime whenever I need it. Like I've been working 6 days a week, like 46, 47 hours. like I said, just for music, you know, and like I don't mind it at all, but that's just, you know, the grind just doesn't stop.
Oh no, just because you know it's you working towards something that's gonna move you away from like the regular lifestyle, and you know I always said that I was like, you know what, it's certain people in this world that you can talk to, and those are the people that's actually going to that actually have a talent that's gonna do something with themselves. You know, have you ever tried to like speak to someone, you know, talk to them, and it's like they don't respond back? It's like you talking to a brick wall, and then you be like, oh my god, what did I do to you? You know, and it's like the next person is you find out like they a producer or they doing video creating, you know, they doing something, you know what I'm saying, to actually, you know, have a face on their name and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's like that's what I look for. I look for the people that's so when I finally do interviews with people and I see that everybody talk back, and I'm like, oh, so that's why you're hip hop. You know what I'm saying? One day your name is gonna mean something, because it's like you can. Negotiation is the best key into this business. Seriously, it's like, yeah. So that's why Russell Simmons got a speech problem now, because he negotiated so much. So it's like he gotta. But anyway, so it's but yeah, like it definitely is. Like your music is like you one of the ones that actually like that was born with it. Everything you're doing right now is just a stepping stone. You know, pretty soon the regular stuff is gonna move out the way, and you never know who's listening to you. Never know.
That's a fact.
So
that's a fact. You never know who's gonna watch the interviews like this too. You know what I mean? Like all of it is just big. That's another thing too. I feel like a lot of people don't realize is like they look at like a smaller creator. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm not gonna do that. And it's like, but why though? You never know. Like, if that person blows up, you know what I mean? If they're not blown up now, like, because I've done interviews with people who like have like 10 followers. You know what I mean? But like, I'm not gonna count them out. Why would I do that? Why would you count anybody out just because they're not there yet? But easily tomorrow they could wake up and be there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you just missed out on that opportunity to even have a conversation with them. Yeah. You know, so like just interview things like this, honestly, like I love, like it's one of my favorite parts of music is getting to connect with people, meet people, you know what I mean? And like you said, like you never know like who's watching, who's listening. Yeah. So like I try to take every opportunity that I can, every single opportunity that arises.
Oh yeah, because yeah, you never know, because you know, before it became a YouTube channel, it was a record label. And it wasn't even WCE Radio. It was called the Machine Music Group. That was when I was, what can I say exactly? I was trying my way to figure out the music thing, but my partner, which was my cousin, well, still is my cousin, of course, but it's like he ended up signing G Herbo. So, yeah, so it's like, yeah, I've been around a few people, but it's like he ended up signing G Herbo, and I didn't even know who G Herbo was. And when I found out through him because he did a mixtape with DJ Cannon, and his homeboy Lil Bibby, which that's crazy. I found that crazy that you a fan of Juice WRLD. They actually is the ones that put Juice WRLD on, and you know, through they
trying to take it to the top of the club.
Before I forget to just mention, my goals are something that I'm trying to make achievements. I'm tired of dying out, life ain't nothing but pain. Every time I look at differentness, I think of my name. My shit is BC, ain't nobody else like this. Come on, stop trying to check, you can't like this. I'm so overflow, I make an overflood. And that's why when I spit, I make an overflood. The verse is so real.